challenge your focus. That's where we always start. And the card we have there is the Knight of Pumpkins. Now, the pumpkins in this deck are the pentacles in other decks. So the Knight of Pentacles in other decks is what we're talking about here. Let me see what these runes are giving me here. Well, if this is a person, this would be a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo person, or someone with Earth prominent in their chart. Very practical, down to earth, probably a good student, very intellectual. They are generally very focused on career and making money. This could also be an offer coming in of a new way for you to make money, or a new opportunity for you to make some money, Leo. But I feel like this is an offer for some of you on a property you're trying to sell, and it may not be enough. Like you may be challenged to accept this offer because maybe, it's like you're trying to sell your house, but this offer comes in and it's not really the amount that you were wanting or needing, or you don't feel that it's viable or really maybe worth the work that you've put in. And, but maybe there's not a lot of other offers coming in. Maybe it's the only one. So you're kind of like, oh, should we take it? Should we not? I don't know. This could also be an offer that you've extended on a property or a home, and, you're waiting to see if it'll be accepted, or maybe if they come back and they have a counter offer. So I'm seeing kind of like a lot of bidding or a lot of going back and forth. Delays and frustration around moving, relocation, to do with real estate, property, and inheritance even. This could be an offer to settle on a court case, or any kind of offer to, like, here, will you take this amount for this? And there just seems to be some disagreement over doing that. Let's see what else is coming through here. I was getting something else. Won't crystallize here. This could also be someone who is like you've hired to do work on your house, but it ends up costing more than you were thinking. If you were doing like a renovation, or you were wanting someone to come in, or something was broken and it needed to be fixed. And it is kind of, unfortunately, one of those things that maybe it's expensive, but it has to be fixed. So something you can't do without, like the air conditioner, or the heat, or the water heater, or, something like that. And this person is, I'll fix it for this, but you just may be like, oh my gosh, where are we going to get this money? So there's some kind of challenge around money, unfortunately, Leo, in October. Or, trying to get someone to accept an offer, or trying to figure out if you should accept an offer on a property, or to settle, or on some sort of compromise or deal. Now, in the present energy, so this would be end of September going into October, or whenever you're watching this, for some of you, you've got the Knight of Imps in reverse. So the Knight of Imps is the Knight of Wands, or rods, in other decks. So this is fire sign energy, Leo, Sag, or Aries. So it could be you, Leo, your energy, and it could just be you're angry. I mean, I really feel like maybe some of you are just, this situation's got you frustrated. This situation's got you upset. This legal battle, this inheritance situation, this divorce, this, you're just tired of waiting on this. And some of you, this may have been going on for a while, if it's a court case or a divorce. So, and it's like it just keeps going around in circles, and you can't get off this merry-go-round for some of you, and you're just really sick of it. You're losing patience with being patient, Leo, is what I'm hearing with a situation or a person. Now, for some of you, this may not be you. This could be, again, another fire sign. The Knights are normally a little bit younger, like 35 or younger or so. Doesn't have to be a male. Either of these Knights could be male or female in these general readings. But yeah, this could be a person that you're getting impatient with on making a decision. Are you staying or are you going? Are you moving in or moving out? Are we going to move in together? So for some of you, I'm feeling distance. So maybe some of you are in a long distance relationship with another fire sign. and you're like, they keep kind of like dropping the ball or not putting enough effort into changing a circumstance or working on a relationship, or, maybe they said they were going to move where you are, but they're not looking for work there or something. You're getting kind of fed up with someone, like making promises and then never delivering, or never growing. This is another, and for some of you, maybe these are your children. For some of you, maybe an earth sign and a fire sign kid. And maybe one's moved out of the house, and it's like this one just, either won't leave and get a job, or will leave and keeps coming back, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, it's time to grow. It's time to grow up. For some of you, this could also be somebody who's a constant student, like they've been in school forever. Maybe they keep changing their majors, they keep changing schools, and it keeps costing you more money, or you keep having to kind of take care of them until they actually get a degree in something, or actually finish a course, or actually get out of school. But they keep kind of dragging their feet. It's kind of like they want to be an eternal student, but never actually get a job. And, being a student costs money. Yes, you gain valuable knowledge and valuable information, but only really if you focus on, and have a career path. If you're jumping all over and, taking a bunch of, kind of silly courses or extracurriculars or things like that, you're just accumulating all this knowledge, but you're not doing anything with it. And the reason for accumulating knowledge can be self-enrichment. That's fine. But, as long as you've got income coming, if you're going to go to school for enrichment, it's usually, best to have a paying job, and you do that in your spare time. But, living off of someone else and expecting them to pay for your education and pay for the bills while you go on this lifetime student binge and never really get a job is what someone seems to be thinking, and you're just going to be their meal ticket here, Leo. Hopefully it's not you doing this to someone else, but I feel like for most of you, you're like irritated with this person. And it doesn't have to be school. It could also be like maybe they keep getting jobs, but they always get fired, or they do move out, but then they keep moving back home because they can't keep a job. The help that's going to be available to you in the month of October, you've got the Devil card in reverse. So it's good in reverse. It means being released from a negative situation. And Awaz is here in the reverse. So yeah, it does indicate like there's a change that is happening that releases you from some sort of bondage, or releases you from some sort of responsibility, or an addiction, or someone with an addiction, or a relationship that was unhealthy. So yeah, this could also, maybe this is just your part. For some of you, maybe it's your boyfriend, girlfriend, and they just really have a temper. Maybe they're abusive, or they say abusive things. This can be someone who's physically abusive when someone who has anger management issues. For some of you, maybe it has to do with the fact that they have a drinking problem or an addiction issue that they haven't dealt with, and you are just at the end of your rope with it, Leo, in October. And I think either you're going to leave or they're going to leave. Or, this could be like, they keep saying they're going to get help or go to rehab or whatever, and they never do. They never go seek out this treatment. They never go do what they say they're going to do. And you just want to be free of it in October. And at some point, yeah, you may be kicking someone out. You may be kicking out one of your kids. Kind of like a bird from the nest. Fly, right? Fly free. It's time for you to go. I can't deal with this cycle anymore. So, I don't think it's going to be something you love doing. It does seem to be something that has to be done rather than something that you really want to do. But at some point we have to consider our own sanity, or we have to consider our own lives, our own goals, our own money. And sometimes we have to take action that we're not thrilled about. It's something that has to be done and dealt with. But so I do see you releasing yourself from bondage in some way here with the Devil card. Now, Leo, if it's you with the addiction issue, it could be that you are going to seek treatment. This is coming up as the help, though. Like, that's what's going to release you from, whatever's controlling you, if it's a substance, or and it may be like, oh, I'm dreading going to admit to someone that I have a problem, or I'm dreading kicking my kid out because he has a drug problem, or he drinks too much and then he drives, but it is kind of a tough love situation, I feel like, for you if you're dealing with someone with this issue. Even with yourself, you may be kind of like, okay, I don't want to do this, but I have to. It's just, I'm not going to get where I want to be if I don't acknowledge this and handle it. What must be accepted about the month of October? We've got the Seven of Ghosts, and the ghosts in this deck are the Cups suit in the traditional decks. So, this is kind of like someone has a lot of fantasies, a lot of options for available to them, and it could be you. But because, again, of whatever's disrupting or controlling or causing this block, they can't accept any of them. Or they can't choose one option and focus on it. Or they can't choose one thing or one partner or one job or one course of study and, again, stick with it. So, and it's like if only this person could do that, whether it's you or someone else you're dealing with, they would have a bright future and a lot of luck and possibilities available to them. So, the Seven of Ghosts can be just about confusion and a mind that is constantly maybe not in reality for whatever reason. It can be escapism into drugs, into drink, anything to kind of not have to deal with reality. I'd rather live in the fantasy world. I'd rather think about what I'm going to do with this degree rather than actually go get a job. Or I'd rather just learn a bunch of things and not, have to go to work and, someone living in a fantasy land. We all have to work. Your parents can't take care of you forever. They're not going to be around forever. And, who wants to live with someone else handling, controlling everything you do, controlling all your money, taking, not being independent, not having that self-sufficiency. There's so much self-esteem and confidence that it comes from that it's really important for everyone to do that. And so there may be somebody who's kind of freeloading here, Leo, and they live in a dream world, and you're going to have to kind of kick them in the behind, literally or figuratively, to get them to realize their potential or do something with all of their capabilities, their skills, and knowledge, rather than just dreaming it up or dreaming about it. Somebody needs to come back down to reality. There's nothing wrong with dreams, but you've got to eventually, at some point, take a step to make them happen. And, that seems to be where it gets confusing for somebody. Now, the outcome of October, you've got the Eight of Imps. So this is the Eight of Rods in other decks. So, and you've got Gifu, the Rune of Partnership. So, the Eight of Rods, or Imps, is sometimes the arrows of love. And coming up with Gifu especially, I feel like for many of you, that is the way this is working out. There could be a new person coming in that you want to partner with. There could be a lot of little, romantic or sexy texts and messages and emails going back and forth in October. I don't know, maybe you're going as Venus and Cupid. You and your significant other, maybe you're going as Venus and Cupid for Halloween, but or a famous couple. Some of you, maybe this could just be a fun party that you're going to for Halloween, and you go as a famous couple, or as somebody with a bow and arrow. The imps are making me think of this here, the little Cupid, but. Some of you may meet someone at a party. So if you are invited to a Halloween party, I would definitely go if you're single and looking. But I feel like many of you are, there's a relationship that's really going to be it could lead to something significant. With Gifu, that's normally a pretty serious partnership, or an offer being made to you, someone who does want to partner with you. And it could be in a business sense. This could also be news of a new opportunity to make some money, or a new opportunity, a new job opportunity, a new business, a new offer on a house. Because remember, we were talking about property. I feel like for many of you that are dealing with frustrations around the home, or offers with settlements or business or properties that you're trying to sell or buy, there will be an offer at the end of the month that is far more conducive to or in line with what you were thinking, or that you're going to be very satisfied with, because this is all about communication. So it is a lot of messages going back and forth, a lot of information coming to you to help you make a decision and solidify partnering up with someone, or solidify a partnership, or yes, I will go on a date with you to this Halloween party. I mean, it's a yes answer when it comes to partnership, or accepting an offer, accepting a date. So the month ends on a fantabulous note, Leo, no matter the ups and downs that go on with, and if this is your partner that you're upset with or having difficulties with, it seems like many of you, if it's not you're kicking someone out for someone new, or you're kicking someone out and then you meet someone new, it could also be that you're solidifying the partnership at the end of the month. You talk through these issues. Maybe you go to counseling and deal with, what's been happening, and, get a start on, making your future together easier. Not all of you are going to break up or kick someone out. It just could be this is happening to kind of get you to the therapist, or get you to admit we need to work on this, or we may need to consult someone and help us with this, because, relationships are hard. We all need some help from time to time with our own issues, and figuring out the issues we create together as a couple, and what we need to do to make this union work. Some of you may be proposed to in October. So if you are, and maybe that's what this is for some of you. It's like, you keep kind of needling or hinting around, like, for someone to propose to you, and maybe you're getting frustrated because you don't know if it's ever going to happen, and bang, at the end of October,